So we gave you the rundown on all the equipment you need and of course all of the shopping list to really stock up your college, your university, your student kitchen life. But we are moving on to the actual cooking, and we of course are starting it off with breakfast, the first meal of the day.
One thing to consider though, everything is 5 ingredients, but salt, pepper, and something to cook like oil or butter. We're not including that.
Yeah.
I get it. Don't sue us. Who gives a crap? It's gonna be delicious.
And remember, breakfast is an interesting one because a lot of you, I'm sure, are skipping breakfast. You're waking up late. So a lot of these recipes are good for any time of the day, but it was something that would have been nice to have when I was in college if I had some of these recipes, so we're gonna help you out.
And all these recipes take only minutes. So whether it's 3 a.m. you're stumbling home wasted from a party, or you're waking up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. having to go to class and you're hungover, wasted, you can make these.
We are going to start it off with the breakfast burrito, and we're gonna whip out that George Foreman grill for the first time. And the thing with the George Foreman grill is that it has this stupid slant for cooking the flavor out of meat, but take that grease tray that it comes with and prop it up. And what that's gonna do is create this beautiful flat surface, a flat grill top in your dorm room. It's amazing, it's nonstick, it's awesome. Take an egg and crack that on there and just scramble it up a little bit, because like Josh knows, you can start losing some egg a little bit.
It'll start to slide, so you can tilt it up a little bit, you'll see.
If it's not perfectly flat, just kind of get the egg going in a nice little area. Add a little bit of cheese, some of that shredded cheese, and then hit it with your salsa. And the beautiful thing about salsa is you've got so many delicious ingredients and so much flavor in the salsa, but you're only using one ingredient. So it's a great way to just amp up your flavor with one ingredient. Then we're gonna take that tortilla and just slide it right on up to the grill, right under there, and just pop off, just let it flop right off onto the tortilla. You're good to go. Then take a little bit of avocado, completely optional, but the creamy avocado on top will amp this breakfast burrito to glorious gourmet
Sour
delight.
cream could work if
Sour
not.
cream would be good, but that's not on our 5 ingredient list right
It's
now.
on our shopping list.
That is, you're right. If you
Might
have
have
it
some.
around, you can add the sour cream after, of course. I would say post sour cream.
Okay.
Post sour cream.
We'll see.
Just roll that puppy up like you know what. Roll it up nice and tight. And then you gotta post grill it. If you're not post grilling, just get out of the house, because there is nothing worse than being served a breakfast burrito that isn't grilled. Flour tortilla's not crispy. Get on out of here. Give it the post grill, slice it up. Oh, yes. This is the Hangover Cure Special right here. One of my favorite sandwiches you make in the morning, and it's gonna give you a base for the rest of your day. That is for damn sure. And it starts with the cinnamon raisin swirl toast.
It does. It does. We got some of that.
Josh was like, I'm gonna whip this out. What was your that was your big reveal?
This stuff's good. It's cheating because it's cheating in a good way. Cheating can be good. Basically, you're getting 3 ingredients for the price of 1.
Yeah.
Cinnamon, raisin, and
Perfect breakfast ingredients. You're right, you're cheating a little bit, but why not when you can? We're gonna take that and we're gonna whip out our toaster and just toast those off. And I'm telling you, when you toast it off, you're gonna have amazing flavors, just bringing out the caramelizing raisins and heating up that cinnamon. So good.
Why are we doing this right now?
Once you got that stuff nice and toasted, just chop up some bananas nice and thin. Then we are going to add the peanut butter right onto the toast. You can use smooth, you can use crunchy, creamy, whatever the hell type of peanut butter you have. Then we're gonna add that banana, layer it on. I like doing it nice and pretty. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm accomplishing something. Drizzle it with honey. And one thing I've learned from this series, the fresh honey is where it's at. Not necessarily cooking with the honey, but just the flavor of the fresh on top is so good. And then sprinkle on those raisins and munch into that thing. I'm telling you, Josh is hungover right now. He's acting like a damn fool. My point, I think I need to make him this sandwich right now just to get his mind straight. Come on. My go-to right here. Easy, quick.
Peanut butter and jelly stuffed French toast. Why make regular French toast or why make peanut butter and jelly when you can combine the two bastards together and make something extra delicious? Basically, probably because we're Jewish and we love challah and it's just delicious bread, we like to use the challah. But any big loaf of bread that's fluffy like a brioche.
But it can't be sliced. It can't be sliced because we are making our own slices.
You need to be able to slice it. So what you do is you take the challah, slice a nice big old chunk, and then in the side insert a slit. But you want to make sure the slit doesn't go through anywhere. You want to make sure it's a pocket. Then you stuff in your peanut butter, and you want the, I like the chunky monkey peanut butter. So you get it nice and chunky, you shove it in there, and then you add in your jelly, whatever jelly you like, and mix those two together inside. Wipe off any excess spewage that might come out, any special juice. And then you take a bowl, beat up 1 egg, and toss that in there. You can add a little bit of salt to the egg if you want, but you don't have to. You add your French toast in there, you coat it with the egg, then put some butter or oil in the foreman, and then just put it in there and close the lid.
Oh, panina-fy.
Panina-fy that thing, because why not? You could cook it in a pan as well, no big deal. But then midway through, you open it up, you flip it. Because the Foreman grill doesn't always cook like evenly on both sides, even though it's got double cooker.
Some spots are crispier.
Some spots get crispier. So you open it up, you take it out, and then you have this beautiful, bodacious ball of love that you can take on the go with you.
Oh, make sure you drizzle it with honey.
Oh, you got it.
That's what makes it. The fresh honey on top.
No, so let's rewind it, turn it back, drizzle that goddamn honey. Enjoy. You can use maple syrup too. You can use whipped cream, chocolate sauce, whatever.
And I love it because it eats like a sandwich. It's not like you're sitting there cutting up the French toast. You can just eat that bastard like it is a delicious peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I like it.
Next level.
Next up, blueberry oatmeal. And I know what you're thinking. Blueberry oatmeal? Oatmeal is boring as hell. Well, yes, that's true if you don't know what you're doing.
For years, I thought that exact thing. Like, oatmeal? Come on. It sounds bland like mush.
But now I love oatmeal so much, I'm eating the oats freaking raw. But we're gonna show you something great. So
Not raw.
Not raw, but you can eat them raw and they're delicious in like smoothies and stuff. But basically, you take your little hot plate thing and you toss in some oatmeal, and then you could use milk, but we're using almond milk because it's got the sugar, it's got the vanilla already in there. And you just start to cook that down. Sometimes I'll even add a little sprinkle of salt in there. Nobody knows.
Whoa.
No big deal. And then you kind of mix that around. You'll see like quick cooking oats, especially they'll quickly cook, obviously. So you let that cook until it gets nice and togetherness. And if you need to, if it's getting a little gloopy, you can add some more milk, you can add some water. But then we're gonna toss in some fresh blueberries. Frozen fruits work really well also. Blueberries, you get them in there, you mix them around, you mash them in, you punch them, whatever you need to do.
Just mash them up to get some of that flavor release, because any extra blueberry flavor in your oatmeal is gonna help out.
And blueberries hot, they create this like instant jam. It's so good, it makes me wanna punch myself. And then you take that out, you put it in a bowl. Then any kind of nuts you have, we're using pecans because they're buttery and delicious. You chop them up, sprinkle them on, sprinkle on some honey or even maple syrup. If you put maple syrup on there, it tastes like you're eating pancakes. That's a whole other story. But maple syrup, little honey, whatever you want, and then you have a great meal that actually, when it gets cold, it's still freaking delicious.
Okay, this one got a little freaky. I figured out
freaky?
something very special, a little hack for your hot pot. We are making the poached egg sandwich, and we are gonna start off with the hot pot. I'm pretty sure this thing is just made for heating up water, but not on the brother screen. This is the ultimate hack right here. So what I realized is if you fill up your hot pot with water and you turn it on high, you get it nice and boily like this, then you turn it down to low. I measured that temperature, and that was at the perfect poaching temperature. And it stayed there at about 145 degrees. I measured it with the thermometer, and I was like, shit, this is great. We can sous vide these eggs right in there. So just put the entire egg right in there and let it cook on low heat for about an hour.
I even know what sous vide is. This is college cooking.
I know, you're right. This is fancy.
Sous vide
in college.
is basically the super simple version of it. Is you're cooking something in a water bath, so a specific temperature. You're cooking eggs at 145, so when they come out, they're gonna be like gooey and delicious.
We're gonna cook these eggs at 145, and what that gives you is a perfect poached egg. At least, hopefully, that's what it gives you.
So listen, if you don't want to spend an hour sous videing, you just throw them in there, put in some water, turn it on, and in 7 minutes they'll be ready.
You're right. You could just put it on boil and then put the egg in there for 7 minutes, and that would give you something similar. But I went for it. I went for.
Have fun. It's science class.
So then what I did was I took some bacon strips, and we're using the microwave for this bacon, something we used to use all the time. It just is like less messy. You're not splattering grease everywhere. You're only splattering grease in your microwave. You're keeping it contained. You lay them down on some paper towels. That's gonna catch the grease, and you put that in the microwave for about 5 minutes. And I'm telling you, when that comes out, you've got this nice and crispy bacon. Not saying it's the best way to cook bacon, but it's very simple and it works like a charm. At least the 7th, Beth. Yeah, you're right. So I took out those eggs at an hour. Hopefully that was the perfect egg right there.
Just enough time to screw 7 women.
And I figured, since, you know, we're getting weird with this hot pot, why not push it even further? We're not just using it to heat up water. I'm gonna throw some spinach in there and see what happens. And it actually cooked great. Spinach is very easy to cook. You're just wilting it down. And I let some of that liquid cook out nicely. We don't want that water in there. We just want pure spinach flavor, nice and wilted. We took this spinach out, and then I got even weirder. I took my, what are those things called?
English muffins.
I took those English muffins. I forget what they're called all the time. I sliced it in half, and that little ring, that little heat ring, all of the heat source in the middle, was the perfect size for the English muffin. So I put a little bit of butter on there and laid those down with a cup on it just to get it extra crispy, and it worked perfectly. It was like the perfect little heating pad to toast your English muffin. I took the toasted English muffin, I hit it with that spinach, a nice layer of that. Of course, some of that crispy microwave bacon, and here is the moment of truth. Will this egg be perfectly poached? Crack. No, it's about 5 degrees too much. So I think the actual temperature was more like 150. So it wasn't bad, but it wasn't runny like I was looking
but it's
for.
Cool. It's still got a creaminess to it.
It's got a very nice creamy
that.
test. Yeah.
Maybe I like that more.
Then I hit it with our 5th ingredient, a little bit of spicy sriracha, just to round it up and bring that extra kick.
And that is Five Breakfast. If you haven't seen it yet, we did an intro video about what to shop, all the things that
Click
you should
on
have.
that right here. Yeah, right here. Right here. That's perfect.
Ho.
And we are moving on. Next episode, check this out. Right in front of Josh's face, we are moving on to lunch.